not on my property, but my first red-bellied black snake of this spring-summer. He's not a very big one. I've seen him here before. It gets in amongst the rocks. Just trying to get some warmth. There's not much about. Beautiful animal. It's a bit of a different day since I filmed that snake. Don't let this sun deceive you, it's temporary. I'm just so pleased with how the garden's looking at the moment. I thought I'd share it with you. We've looked at this bed previously, but look at this beautiful plant. Now this was already here. I'm afraid I don't know what it's called. I did know, but I can't remember. I've never been sure why variegated plants are so controversial. I think they're beautiful. Anyway, this one's got these lovely pink flowers on. Come up quite early, they don't last long. Then we've got this lovely bush. The rest of the year is deciduous. I love the shape of it. I sort of trained it into this kind of vase shape. It's looking a little bit squashed at the moment because it's been rained on. The rain's just blown over. I am thinking that I was going to start on the doughnut bed in autumn, but we've been told that this very wet weather is going to last well into summer this year again. So I'm thinking I probably should crack on with the doughnut bed sooner rather than later. I've got quite a few seedlings and they are starting to look like they could do with planting out. They're starting to get a bit damaged where they are. I'm stood here because this is sort of the vicinity of where I'm going to put the doughnut bed. That's the library for context. So essentially it'll be a bed shaped like this with an entrance point. So you'll be able to see both from inside it and from outside it. All I need to do is mark it out and dig up the turf. Shouldn't be hard. I'll get some manure, I think, to enrich the soil, but the soil should be in quite good shape. I do fertilise the lawn. That's for another day though. By the way, forgive me if I sound a bit my breath sounds a bit laboured or I don't sound in top form. That's because I'm not. Anyway, I'll get over it. And lastly, I wanted to show you this. This is my rambling rector. I don't know if you remember, but I planted this last year and it was sort of this tall. I in fact didn't plant it here, I planted it on a dead tree further in the woods, and I thought it would just, be sort of an interesting plant to sort of notice, add a bit of depth to where the plants are interesting. But the problem with dead trees, I discovered, is that they are usually the habitat of termites, and the termites were damaging the plant, so I had to dig it out and start again. So not only was it small, but it also had a setback. Anyway, last year it did go pretty mental. It grew quite high, but this year it's going even more mental. So it's worked its way up from the ground and it's sending up all these new shoots up this tree, and then it's spreading all through this tree. But even better, can you see? It's developing all these flowers. And rambling rector flowers are perfumed, and they're very simple white flowers with a perfume. My intention always was that because the rambling rector is such a vigorous rose, you really need the space for it. I am not lacking in space. And I just love the thought of sending it up these trees and it intermingling amongst all the leaves and the branches, and then just having these beautiful white fragrant flowers. And then if that works, obviously I think I'll be able to take cuttings and replicate that on other trees. I'm just so pleased with that. It's got a deserved reputation. Not suitable for a small garden. Now I'll maybe show you it once it's in flower. I'm heading over to the cold frame area because I'm going to assess my seedlings. You can see that quite a lot in the end did nothing at all. These are the ones that did something, except for those are cuttings of something else, and that was something I was experimenting with, which may or may not work. But you can see that these are starting to get quite big now. They all sort of blew over in the wind as well, and they're starting to get a bit damaged by slugs. And unfortunately some of them got so damaged by the wind they've kind of failed. So I want to take stock of what I have and then maybe try again with some of the things that sort of worked but have become subsequently damaged. These are two that had worked but which have subsequently become damaged. BFI and RP. BFI snapped when it blew over in the wind, and RP scorched to death when I neglected to take them out of the cold frame quickly enough. So I just need to cross-reference my labels because I have no idea what they are with the seeds and see if I've got any extras so I can try these again. Well, I managed to find them. So BFI is this blue false indigo, and RP is this penstemon. Luckily I have quite a lot of the indigo left, but sadly the penstemon are no more. So this experiment has proven a failure, but hopefully I can resurrect this one at least. So I'm going to try sowing it again. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the tray. These are the non-starters. There we are. They're all matched up. You can see the ones which haven't made it. I'm going to see if there's any seeds left of these, and I'm going to have another stab at it. Here we have the Table of Destiny. These are the ones that worked, and I have at least one plant of all of these, some of them multiples. These are the ones that didn't work, but that I'm trying again. This is one that didn't work, that I'll try again, but I'll have to wait because it needs to go in a fridge and I don't have a fridge, so I'll wait till winter. And these are the ones that didn't work and that I don't have spares for. So what I think I will do is see if it's possible just to buy these as plants. I think that's not bad. The ones that worked-ish, or may work, the ones that didn't work. You know, let's face it, we tend to buy plants rather than seeds because it's quite hard growing things from seed. So I'm not too upset about that. I think I will also maybe make some more of the ones that did work because there's no harm in having extras. Got a lot of space to fill. And yeah, I'll see what I can do about maybe sourcing at least some of these. Now remember, of course, they're not all for the doughnut bed. It's a bit windy. Some of these are for other parts of the garden. It's just nice to have more flowers. So I will crack on. Sun's out again today briefly. So I go and try and sneak up on the snake shed to see if there's any there. No sign. I'm starting to wonder if we had any snakes in there over winter at all this year. Normally seen my first snake in our snake shed emerge in October. It's November now. The sun's out right enough, but it is cold. I'm in a jumper. Well, I'll keep an eye out, but maybe there's none there. As you can see, I'm back up at the house, just leaning against this post. I'm about to embark on my final task this week, and it's one of the tasks I look forward to least, which is trying to keep the blackberry under control. I'm not a big fan of controlling weeds in this way. I don't do it for anything else, but I'm obliged by law to keep on top of the invasive non-native weeds, and blackberries everywhere. Our neighbours don't really bother, but I feel that it's incumbent upon me to do the right thing, and our blackberry is very much more under control compared to theirs. Now, I love blackberry, and I think it has a lot of massive benefits for wildlife, and I hope pretty soon to compensate removing this self-same blackberry by incorporating some perhaps better behaved fruiting plants around the garden for the benefit of wildlife. But for whatever reason, it's deemed to be a severe problem here, and it is, as I say, incumbent upon me to do something about it. Blackberry is an amazing plant. I absolutely love it, and I gather it can stay dormant in the ground for over 120 years. So I do feel like I and we and they are all fighting a bit of a pointless and losing battle. However, fight it we must. Opportunities are not forthcoming this year. I prefer to do it on a dry day, but if I look behind me I could be more optimistic about the weather. I'll ignore what's going on behind me. I also must say I don't ever spray. I think it's just so indiscriminate, so I have a system whereby I have a little paintbrush and I paint directly and only onto the blackberry. It's the only way that I can bring myself to do it. Well, I suppose that's a bit of a downer, a downer way to end the vlog this week. However, you know, that's just the way it is. Maybe better things will be happening next week and I will be feeling a bit better. By the way, you probably don't want or need to know this, and don't quote me on this, but I think I might have shingles. I've got this really painful, unbearable, blotchy, horrible rash on my shoulder, which I won't show you. It's kind of fascinating, but it's very grim. Sort of like someone stuck a whole load of reddish coloured Rice Krispies onto my shoulder. Anyway, so yeah, I feel a bit under the weather, and I'm not looking forward to doing this. I hate doing this, but anyway, that's the way it goes sometimes. Can't always do what you want. And on that bombshell, I will see you next time. Bye.